All good.
Okay. So this is Thursday, April 1st, 2021. And this is the City of Illyria Board of Zoning Appeals. And it is approximately a little after 3 p.m., our usual meeting time, and the first Thursday of each month. And because we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic, we are not doing this at the Illyria City Hall. We are doing it remotely via Zoom. And before we get started, I will just tell all of the participants that when we start, if you all agree to appear by Zoom, that is okay, but we will need your okay to do this via Zoom, as well as understand that we do not have a full complement of the board, and you have a right to continue your case to be heard by the full complement of the board. We do have a quorum, and anything that we vote on today, if you decide to go ahead with your appeal process today, you live by what we vote on and how we vote. And that may be different if there were a full complement of the board. So when I call your case, I'll remind you of those couple of things. You can answer however you want to answer, and then we'll go forward from there. Fair enough? Okay.
Yes.
So at this point, I'll ask Ms. Tomsky to call the roll.
On.
Oh, there you go. I'm present.
That was me.
Tim Golden.
Present.
Okay, Harold Minnick,
He's excused.
Karen Mobert.
Looks like, oh, there she is.
There she is.
Hey, all right, you made it.
Hi, Karen.
Julianne Sadowski.
Present.
Okay, did everybody get the minutes from our March 4th meeting?
Yes.
Okay, this time the chair will entertain a motion for approval of those minutes.
I motion we approve the minutes for March 4th.
I will second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. It's been moved and second that the minutes of March 4th be approved. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Those minutes are approved. So for the people waiting to hear their case, the presentation format is this. We will call your case. We'll ask you to explain to the board why you want to have this variance granted. Then we'll ask the city through Mr. Farkas to explain the city's position on your case. And then if there are anybody out there in Zoom land or on YouTube that want to be proponents or opponents to this one of these matters, they may do so. And then if there's any questions by the board, then we'll have some questions after that. After that, we'll vote. So seeing that,
That I got.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
seeing that there is no old business, I'd also ask you folks, if you're not case is called, maybe put yours on mute so we don't have the background noise. That would be great. And seeing that we have no old business, we'll go to new business. First case on our agenda today is case number 2021-6. Samson and Brittany Duran, 314 Hilliard Road, Illyria, Ohio, 44035. Requesting a variance from section 1144.03A of the Illyria Codified Ordinances. The proposed accessory structure, which is a fence, is indicated to be a 6-foot high by 250-foot length and is to be built on a vacant lot with the setback from the front property line of 37 feet. The zoning code requirements indicate an accessory structure or fence, including a fence, may not be built on a vacant lot without first having a principal structure. I believe I see a Brittany Duran. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And are you going to be speaking on behalf of your request?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
my husband here with me as well.
Okay. Is he going to testify as well?
No, I can just do it if that
Okay.
works. for you.
So Colleen, do you want to swear this witness in, or would you like me to do it?
Do it. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Duran, if you both would raise your right hands, if you're both going to be testifying. Do you both solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Brittany, can you tell us why you want this variance?
Yes, when we first bought our house, I believe it was 2018, we weren't really aware of the difference that it would make having two parcels. We just assumed we have a big yard, we have 2 kids, and we have 3 dogs. So it was awesome having the extra yard on the side of the house because we let our dogs out the back of our house. Wanted it to around that
Oh,
when we first
Brittany, Brittany,
Sure.
hold on,
the
you're
yard.
breaking up on us. Can you say that again? You're breaking up on us.
Yes, I'm sorry. When we first bought our house, we weren't aware of the complications having 2 separate parcels, putting up a fence. We loved that it had a big yard. We have 2 kids and 3 dogs. So that was our goal when we first bought it, was we wanted a fence in the yard, be able to utilize it the best for us. I want to be able to let our kids play over there, not have to worry about, the side road that connects in one corner of the lot, or we live on a pretty busy road. I also want our pets to be able to enjoy it. I'd like some privacy. And I figure the way it connects, it goes from our back patio, it wraps around our back garage, and then it connects to that side yard, the extra parcel. And we also right now have 2 active temporary protection orders on our neighbors that live, we have like most of the yard over there. They were continually harassing me when we were treating our yard, mowing. We had to call the Illyria police. They were served. So now, on top of already wanting the fence, now I just don't feel safe over there. We have no sort of privacy. I don't really even let my kids play over there right now. We have our trampoline and swing set there. So those are 2 huge reasons why we now want the fence over there to fully enclose our yard. I don't feel safe letting them play over there anymore.
Okay, is that all?
That it?
Yeah, that's it. I say half our garage is also on the property. Some of our
You can
garage.
see by the drawing, some of our garage also goes over into that side yard that we have. But yeah, I believe that covers everything.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Farkas, city's position.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on the screenshot that's before us, this apparently is a view from Lorraine County Auditor's website. Please note that the auditor's website is not to be utilized as an accurate site plan, and that the overlay delineated by the red box or rectangle is not actual. So the location pending the existing structure is questionable on the vacant lot. As proposed, the structure is zoned residential medium density district. The requirements of which are found in chapter 1144 of the Illyria Codified Ordinance. The Codified Ordinance requires that any accessory use, such as a detached garage or shed and a fence, be located on a lot with a principal use, such as a house. As this is an issue, we do have no concerns from the building department standpoint, as it does sit far enough back, 37 feet per the plan we have, to allow for line of sight for adjacent properties. We did have someone call in regards to an objection. This person may actually be online now that is opposed to the variance, but that's all our findings.
Mr. Fritz, you're muted.
You're muted, Joel.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask Ms. Tomsky at this point if all of the notices went out and if anything was returned, or if anybody indicated that they wanted to speak here today.
Notices did go out. As Daryl stated, we did hear from one neighbor, and as we do believe she is on this call, she was interested in getting the link to join the meeting.
Okay, I'm looking, I don't see, no, that's Mr. Black.
Elena
I don't-
Barnett, I do believe.
What's that?
Alana Barnett. I think she's on here now.
Okay.
Can you
Miss
unmute? Barnett? She's not unmuted.
Ms. Barnett, you need to unmute.
Okay, I'm on.
All right, before you speak, Miss Barnett, we probably need to have you sworn in, okay?
Okay.
Colleen, you want to do the honors?
Yep. Okay, Ms. Barnett, if you raise your right hand, please, I'm going to swear you in. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Please go ahead and tell us what you want us to hear.
Okay, it's I work for the schools, and we have the North Wood campus down the street, and I am disabled and I have neck problems, so I was concerned about they first told me it was going to be 3 feet away from the sidewalk, but I guess that was the wrong information. But my concern is I don't want to hit no one going out my driveway, and I don't have a lot of neck movement, so I use my mirrors. And you know, I would feel really bad if I hit. There's a lot of dog walkers in our neighborhood, and we have a really nice neighborhood on Hilliard Road, and you know, it just don't look right over there to begin with. But you know, that's how everybody lives differently, and I understand that. But my concern is it's a busy place for kids, and I don't know if that fence is going to cause, you know, me to not be able to get out of my driveway. And they still want 3 feet they don't want to put that on my permit, on my line. They want to put it 3 feet over on theirs. So they're going to have to still come around to take care of that lawn. And I don't think that doesn't take care of their problem that they have against us. And I'm sorry, that's the way it is, but I have 3 doctors, and I will, you know, I have to get, you know, whatever they have to. I'm disabled, and I don't think that I should have to worry about seeing over a fence on a 35-mile-per-hour road on Hilliard Road. I've been there 25 years. I have no problem with any of my neighbors. And I just feel bad that, you know, I have to put up with this. And I don't care about the fence. We already have a permit in. We were going to put a standing fence too to block them. We already built a patio on the side of our garage, so they'll leave us alone and we won't see them. And their kids never play out there. They have cameras everywhere on our house, not on the other side. And every time I go out my door, I hear the dog bark and she comes out. So, you know, I'm being watched all the time.
Is that all, ma'am?
Yes.
Joel, I have, if you don't mind, I don't mean to interrupt, but I grew up 8-10 houses from here. Brittany, is there a sewer line, water line underneath the lot next door still?
Yes.
So that's not a buildable lot, is that correct, Brittany?
I was told, I was
No.
never told that there was. We had everything marked for line wise. The county came out and marked everything, but we were never told of anything like that under there. I know
I'm not trying to tell you this, but I grew up as a kid. There was a humongous ditch that all the water from the street next door went through that I knew was covered up with a pipe. Anyway, that was my first comment. But the second one is, instead of going this variance route, because there's rules and regulations on meeting it, why isn't there just going to be a lot combination, Daryl, and then we wouldn't have that issue? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Daryl, you're muted.
I don't know. Where is Daryl?
He's talking. So
I can't even
Like
see
he's on
him.
the phone.
somebody hold a sign up, say Daryl.
I can't even see him. I don't even know where he's at.
Yes, sir. I'm here. I was talking to Mary.
That's
There you
okay.
go.
Quick question. If you know, is there still a sewer line under the lot next door?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I'm just asking the building people if they know.
Okay. They
I have
told
no
me
doubt.
I've been there 25
I see
years.
the big pipe in it.
Yeah, there's a big pipe there.
Manhole right
I
there.
thought
All
so.
right,
Anyway,
hold on, Miss Barnett, okay? It's one at a time.
Daryl, my question versus getting into a vote and going through all the pluses and minuses, if they do a lot combination, does that take care of the problem?
That would take care of the problem. As you can see from the map that's on there now, this looks like it may have been a survey. It says American Mortgage. This shows that the accessory garage is on the parcel. That still doesn't solve the problem of not having a principal use, a home. So technically it's still on a vacant lot. Combining the parcels would help. As far as any easements or sewer lines, that would be an engineering question. I haven't done any research into that unless it was posed to build on. That's when that would be evoked.
Right.
But,
I was just bringing that point up, but my comment is because if you let this one pass through and the next person in the city who wants to put a fence around the lot next door, we're gonna have to keep coming back and forth. If they're under the case law that we always use,
Right.
if there's an easier solution to the problem versus a variance, which would be just a lot combination, then we wouldn't have to go through this and there wouldn't be there can't be anything afterwards between the neighbors because you're following the code.
My recollection is that back in the fall, we had this same issue over on the north side.
Correct.
And we told that person the same thing.
That is correct.
Brittany, I'm not trying to play lawyer for you because I'm the lawyer for this board, but all that means is you combine the two lots into one lot. And it's not even, and some people don't want to do it because the lot's buildable. That was the only reason I asked the sewer question. But you combine it into two lots and then you don't have, and there are no requests for variances at that point. And that's the normal route to go to avoid further disputes after this hearing. Should you prevail.
Okay, so we would just need to combine the lots then.
Yes.
And we do that through the county, correct?
You hire, I'm not playing your lawyer, you hire a surveyor, he just puts it onto one legal description. You go through Mr. Farkas's office to approval and then to the county.
Okay.
So, Brittany, would you like to withdraw your request? Or do you want us to go through and vote on it?
I would really like to vote on it because we weren't trying to just fence in just that one random lot. We were really trying to make it so we have one big yard, large yard.
That's the point. That's the point Mr. Taylor was talking about. Okay. Well, and I think Mr. Taylor, and we'll go through some of these factors, but the first one is there are special conditions and circumstances that exist which are peculiar to the land. And I believe the answer to that would be no. Anybody agree with me here?
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. Second one is whether the property in question will yield a reasonable return or whether there can be any beneficial use of the property without the variance. I believe the answer to that is yes, there could be beneficial use. And there's other things that can be done. Everybody agree with that?
That's right, yes.
Okay. 3, whether the variance is substantial and is the minimum necessary to make possible reasonable use of the land or structures. Again, the answer is no. The easiest form is what we talked about, combining those lots into one. And we don't have that issue in this circumstance. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Number 4, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or whether adjoining properties would suffer substantial detriment as a result of the variance. And again, there's a possibility of that. We've heard somebody say that they might have a property or some sight line issues. I wasn't going to get into those questions, but I had some questions regarding that as it related to how far, if that's set, the fence was proposed to be set back 37 feet. Is that accurate? From the road?
Yes, it was supposed to be in line with the front, with the houses. It wasn't going to go further past that.
Okay, so it sounds like the next door neighbor had testified that would block her sight. Is there 37 feet of her driveway that's open that she can see both ways on the road?
It's all open after that. It would be as if she went past her own house, then she'd have that whole driveway. It would not obstruct her view at all.
All right, so the answer to that question, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or whether the adjoining properties, I think you could argue yes to some degree. Well, anybody have input on that particular one?
I agree. It depends on the perspective
Right.
of who's considering it. So I'm in the same understanding as you, Joel. Yes and no.
Again, you know, you don't have to give equal weight to each one of these factors. It depends on the relevant, you know, circumstances of each of those factors that could weigh differently for different reasons. 5, whether the variance would adversely affect the delivery of any governmental services. Well, Jim asked that question. We don't know. That's a possibility, I guess, that there may be some easement issues or something along those lines, but we don't know that yet, right?
Right.
Right, okay. Now, whether the property owner purchased the property with the knowledge of the zoning restrictions, she absolutely stated that they didn't, as most people don't when they come before us. Then whether special conditions or circumstances exist as a result of the actions of the owner. Well, she did indicate there's some neighbor issues and things like that, which may make special conditions, correct?
Yes.
We're not asking you,
Oh, sorry.
Brittany. This is just for the board. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. And then whether the property owner's predicament feasibly can be obviated through some method other than the variance. And we all know the answer to that is yes. The
Yes.
easiest answer would be to make it one lot. 8, or I'm sorry, put the 9, the 9th factor, whether the spirit intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting the variance. Well, I think my answer would be no at this point, based on some of the other factors. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And the 10th factor, whether the granting of the variance requested will confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied by this regulation to other lands, structures, or buildings in the same district. Well, as I mentioned last fall, we had a similar issue on the north side, and we denied that request and had asked the woman to go and get and have her property turned into one. I don't know if she did, but that was our ruling back then. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Last factor, variance sought is the minimum which would afford relief to the applicant. I think based on some of the other things that were stated, the answer to that would be no. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so at this point, the chair will entertain a motion on case number 2021-6, Brittany Sampson and Brittany Duran, 314 Hilliard Road, Illyria, Ohio.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I would like to state my point, and that would be, I would like to, I've lost for words, and I'm sorry, because I'm reading at the same time. I'd like to object to the variance, the request for the variance.
So are you making a motion to deny this variance?
Correct.
I am. Thank you. I was hoping you would step up and tell me what.
That's
I lost my train of thought. when I was-
okay.
Yes.
I would move that we second the motion to deny it, subject to the recommendation that the owner combine the two parcels.
Well, I don't think we can make it subject to that. That's going to be
No,
up to the owner.
Karen, all your motion can be is you second Mr. Golden's motion.
For to
Deny the motion.
deny the motion for the variance for the fence, yes.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we deny the motion in case number 20, or not deny the motion, deny the request for variance in case number 2021-6. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, the ayes have it. And Ms. Duran, the variance request has been denied, but you kind of have been indicated that what you need to do, okay?
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming today. All right, moving on to case number 2021-7. And that would be Keith. Yeah,
I have to leave, but I want to make 2 comments, and you can call myself if something comes up. I've already met with Daryl on number 2.
okay,
We have an understanding of what's going on, and Daryl can explain that.
okay.
Number 3, Mr. Wagner, it's an imposter there because that's Mark and not Carl, but he's okay. Is this the Hovanian neighborhood?
Yes,
So just so everybody else understands, next week, planning, they've listened to our request. I actually, not as the attorney for the board, but for planning commission, approached Hovanian, and they have applied for a blanket variance from after Mr. Wagner's case. Because of the multitude of these coming in, they have listened to our comments, let's put it that way, and they have
About
made
time.
a motion that it'll take a couple months, but eventually there's going to be a blanket variance on the driveways, absent there being a utility line or something in the way.
okay.
All right, if you need me, call me, but those are that last one should make Mr. Wagner's even more simpler than the ones we did before. And Mr. Black, again, Daryl and I have talked, he knows where he stands from a legal standpoint.
All right, get out of here.
I apologize. All right, call me if you need me, Joel.
All right, thanks, Jim. Okay, you're excused. Case number 2021-7, Keith Black for Expresso Bakery, 104th Street, Illyria, Ohio, 44035, requesting a variance from section 1156.13A of the Illyria Codified Ordinances. 2 customer service windows are proposed on the structure, one on East River Street and the other on 4th Street. And the zoning code requirements state that all businesses, services, or processing shall be conducted wholly within a completely enclosed building. Mr. Black, how are you?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Do you understand today that we're doing this via Zoom, and do you agree to participate?
Yes,
You also understand that we do not have a full complement of the board, and if you'd like that full complement, your case can be continued until we have a full complement.
I understand.
Would you like to continue, or would you like, or continue your case, or would you like to go forward today?
I would like to continue.
You want to continue the case, set it for
Yes.
another day, right?
I want to continue the case for today.
Okay, you want to go forward today. Thank
Yes,
you.
I want to go
All right.
forward. Sorry about that.
Then I will have you sworn in. Colleen, you want to do the honors for Mr. Black?
Sure. Mr. Black, if you raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Black, tell us why you want this variance.
Well, this all came across from the coronavirus to social distance people, so there'd be less things. And I applied for a grant for the CARES Act in order to, and I got it, obviously, to separate the people coming in the bakery because it's, just so big, and you don't want a bunch of people close to each other. So that's what the windows were for. And it's just basically to separate people and faster service and everything more convenient for people. And we have a lot of hospital people coming there and get them back to work because they are pretty essential workers.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. Let me see. I'm new at this. Oh, when I purchased the building, I didn't know there was rules on certain. I've learned a lot in the last year and a half about restaurants, actually two and a half years. And I did not realize that I could not put a window in. I thought it was a pretty simple process. And then it came to my attention I wasn't. I had to get a variance and everything.
Okay. Is that all you want us to hear?
It's merely for speed, service, convenience, maintenance, social distancing, and all that above, I said.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Farkas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The site is currently zoned Business Neighborhood District, the requirements of which can be found in Chapter 1156 of the Illyria Codified Ordinance. Unfortunately, the proposed window is akin to a fast food restaurant drive-up window, which the permitted uses for a business neighborhood does not permit the fast food category. So that's why he needs a variance. The information regarding the window location, I have been in contact with his contractor. We have already worked out any questions that may come up in regards to its construction. I would just like the board to consider the two locations of the windows. Would be one in the public sidewalk, and the other would be right into this photo that's right there next to the adjacent parking area. So I just want the board to consider that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Ms. Tomsky, did you send out any notices? Did they come back?
I did, and I have not heard from anybody.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this. And just so I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Farkas, I think I asked you this going in the beginning. Because of the difference of the zoning here as opposed to downtown Illyria or anywhere else, like where they're building the new Dunkin' Donuts or Jimmy John's or, you know, any of those places with drive-through windows, this is a walk-up window, but it nonetheless, it is a, you know, a outside service type window, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, let's go quickly over the factors. You know, are there special conditions or circumstances that exist which are peculiar to the land? I think the answer would be yes, considering the pandemic, the location of the building, and wanting to, because I'll tell you, I go to that convenient every morning, and there's a line out of Expresso Bakery every morning, and I'm there 7 days a week.
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
Would everybody agree with that?
Yes.
I agree.
All right. Whether this property in question will yield a reasonable return or whether there could be any beneficial use of the property without the variance. Well, there already is a beneficial use, but I would bet that the walk-up window would probably have a better return. Mr. Black, is there a reason why you want two of those windows instead of just one?
Well, originally I talked to this about the mayor, and the mayor would say that would have one window where they would put the order in, and then they'd come around the side and pick it up. That way everyone's not congregating in one area or the other.
So your proposal is similar to like McDonald's or whatever, where you pay at one window and you pick up at the other.
Yeah, it's just to basically just have the flow, so everyone is just put apart, and that's basically the reason why.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Thank you. The third factor, whether the variance is substantial and is a minimum necessary to make possible the reasonable use of the land or structures. Well, I mean, he's already making use of it, but you know, I think it would be the minimum necessary to do what he wants to do. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. The fourth factor, whether the essential character of the neighborhood would be substantially altered or whether adjoining properties would suffer substantial detriment as a result of the variance. You know, one of my questions at one point would be, you know, is there a safety issue with the people out on those sidewalks? But they're out there every day anyway. So, and they are public sidewalks. So does anybody have a comment on that issue?
Nope. No.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right. So we would agree that would work in the applicant's favor.
Yes.
Thank you. The fifth factor is whether the variance would adversely affect the delivery of governmental services such as water, sewer, trash pickup. Doesn't appear to. I would say no. Everybody agree?
Agree.
All right. Whether the property owner purchased the property with knowledge of the zoning restrictions. Were you aware of this, Mr. Black?
I wasn't aware of many restrictions that I had.
I understand. Not many people are. Okay. The seventh factor, whether special conditions or circumstances exist as a result of the actions of the owner. I would say no. I mean, he wants to I don't think it's creating any special circumstances. It's just he wants to do something different to help out his business. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Very good. Eighth factor, whether the property owner's predicament feasibly can be obviated through some method other than a variance. I don't believe so, only because it seems to be a small building. This might be better for flow, COVID, pandemic, social distancing. I think that works in the applicant's favor. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
All right, the ninth factor, whether the spirit and intent behind the zoning requirement would be observed and substantial justice done by granting the variance. Well, if you're a donut lover, I think that would be, everybody would say yes, right? And who's not a donut lover, right?
I hear that.
All right. All right, the 10th factor, whether granting the variance requested will confer on the applicant a special privilege that is denied, that has been denied by these regulations on other land structures or buildings of the same district. Well, frankly, I don't think we've ever had this unique of a question come up for somebody wanting to have a drive or a walk-up window. So I'm not so sure. I think this works in the applicant's favor as well. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, last factor, the variance sought is the minimum, which will afford relief to the applicant. Well, I kind of asked that question in the first place. Why 2 instead of 1? I think he explained that, and I believe that that factor works in Mr. Black's favor. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Agree.
All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion on case number 2021-7 Keith Black for Expresso Bakery.
I have a question, Joel.
Oh, sure, I'm sorry. Does anybody have any questions to for Mr. Black or anybody?
Okay, I do. Yes. So as they're walking around from where they would place the order in on one side and walk around, is there already a sidewalk going all the way around, Mr. Black?
Yes, there is. There's actually a raised sidewalk, and I think it's 5 feet. But there's actually some sidewalk that's, it's actually not sidewalk, but it's my property, because my property is an angle, and there's probably like 6 feet before you get to the sidewalk, right where that window's in, it's going to be indented 2 feet from the sidewalk, roughly. So there's a sidewalk actually not on the sidewalk, but the property kind of is in an angle, so it goes in from the sidewalk. So there's sidewalk all the way around, yeah.
Okay. And another question, are both these windows going to be manned? Are you going to hire new employees to man them, or?
You know, I've been wanting to hire people badly, because I've been like understaffed for like ever since this COVID thing hit, because everyone's coming to me and they want unemployment and me to pay them. So my goal is to man those windows, because I want to hire people, but it seems like people don't want to work. They want to just collect unemployment, unfortunately. So yeah, my goal is to have those manned. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else?
No.
I have a question for Mr. Farkas. You wanted us to consider where those windows would be placed. Does the city have a concern about safety or anything like that?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. The concern came in regards to location, as the interior of the establishment has set specific counters and appliances. So if you look at the window in the photo indicated now, it's between the, Joel, I take it you've been in there, same as I. You come in immediately to the left, you got the display case and you got all your different donut choices. Right behind that is where this window will be, in that little aisleway between. Keith, I'm not sure, I don't remember the appliance. Is it the bagel warmer or something in the corner?
Yeah, it's a, yes.
Okay, it's right between those two. So that location, from a building code standpoint, I asked these same questions you're considering now. The only concern we had was the flow, because you have egress from the main door. If people are, I don't know, Keith, if the window in this photo on the east side of the building is where they order and they walk around to the north side to pick up. Is that the orientation?
Yeah, that would be my goal, yes.
Okay.
where they would go there and walk around and, I mean, yes.
Yeah, the only concern I had was one, flow of people. I'm sure people can get in and out of the door. There's access. If we can,
Well, I was gonna say I want to just get my flow better. I mean, 'cause
Right.
the flow could always be better. I mean, right now sometimes the flow gets really long, you know. So,
right. Mark, if you
Yeah.
could scroll to the next photo to show the north side, please. There you go. The only other concern on that shot is where you can see the handicap accessible parking space in the ramp. People with a disability would come up. They may have to fight people to get through. I'm sure people will adjust accordingly. I can't remember, Keith, the distance of the concrete from the brick wall to the edge of the asphalt. For the life of me, I thought it was like 3 or 4 feet. That's our only concerns.
I think it might be 5 feet.
5 feet? Okay.
Yeah, I know it's not 3, and I know, and I think it's over 4, but I actually thought it was 5 feet.
And is that
But
the
I'm not
actual,
100%. It's 4 to 5 feet. What's that?
is that the actual spot for the window? Or is it going to be, or could it be moved a little bit towards that white door?
It's going to be it's not going to be, it's going to be over a little bit from that. So it's going to be to the side of that somewhat, as much as possible, because unfortunately, I can't change where if everything lines up. You
Right.
know?
Right.
But it's going to be over as far as possible. And the window, the opening is actually, yes. Okay.
So it's going to be over as far as you can towards the glass or towards the east, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Mr. Farkas, do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Golden, you have anything?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Julianne, you got anything?
No.
Then the chair will entertain a motion on case number 2021-7, Keith Black for Expresso Bakery.
I'll move that we accept the variance for 2021-7 for the 2 windows as indicated.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we grant the variance in case number 2021-7. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Black, your variance is granted. You'll get something in the mail whenever the mail delivers it.
Okay, great. So it got approved. Okay.
got
so it's time to
approved.
go make the donuts then. So
There you go. Have a good
All
day,
right.
sir.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks.
Okay, the last case on our agenda today is case number 2021-8, Carl Wagner, 440 Westcott Way. That's familiar. Illyrio, Ohio, 44035. Requesting a variance from section 1175.03 of the Illyria Codified Ordinances. The proposed driveway extension is indicated to be a total of 4 feet 5 inches in width and is to be installed adjacent to the existing 16-foot driveway. Total width of the proposed driveway will be 20 feet 8 inches, and the combined driveway coverage calculates 42.60%. Zoning code states that the area of the driveway in a front yard shall not exceed 1/3 of the area of such yard, and the maximum width shall not exceed 20 feet. Mr. Wagner, how are you, sir? Mr. Wagner, are you with us?
He's on mute.
Okay.
There
Well,
you go.
thank you.
So first of all, Mr. Wagner, do you understand that we are doing this remotely, and do you agree to participate today via Zoom?
I do.
And you understand that we do not have a full complement of the board, and if you wanted to, you can pass your case until such time as we do have a full complement. Would you like to do that, or would you like to go forward today?
We can go forward.
All right, very good. Colleen, would you like to swear this Mr. Wagner in, please?
Sure. Mr. Wagner, if you raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Wagner, you really don't have to go into a whole lot of detail, but tell us why you want to have this.
Just like to widen it the width of the garage instead of the width of the the garage door. so there's more room.
Have you already done this, or are you waiting to do it?
We're waiting to do it.
Well, that's pretty good.
It looks like it's wider, doesn't it?
I don't think
These are the pictures. The pictures that I submitted were several pictures that we took that are already existing in the neighborhood. Our house isn't built yet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not his actual residence.
Well, that explains that then.
Okay. So for those out there in Zoom land, I would just like to say that you've heard us go over on other cases the 11 factors that we consider. However, I'd like to short shrift this a little bit because we've done, how many have we done so far, folks? 6 maybe?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. Now, the only thing that I would say is that Mr. Wagner's, does anybody recall us granting anything greater than 40%? I don't know that we have.
We may have, Mr. Chair. It may have been slightly over, depending on the configuration of the lot.
Yeah, it all depends on those lots in that area. And so if nobody objects, I would like to go straight to a vote on this.
No objection.
Yeah.
All right, so the chair will consider, was that somebody objecting or did somebody sneeze? I didn't hear that. Okay, chair will entertain a motion on case number 2021-8, Carl Wagner at 440 Westcott Way.
I motion to accept case number 2021-8.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded with that we grant the variance. Case number 2021-8. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. And Mr. Wagner, you will also get your approval in the mail whenever that your mail carrier gets it to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, folks, seeing is that we have nothing else on our agenda, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion we adjourn.
Okay, and
Go right ahead.
that's
Yeah.
been made at 3:49 on April 1st. All in favor, say aye.
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 I don't think anybody is opposed. So we'll see everybody at our next ensuing meeting, possibly in May.
Possibly.
Okay, I think we're adjourned, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.